Hello, everybody. Hey, happy Monday. Hope you are doing well. It's been 3 days, 4 days since I saw you last. Hope you're doing okay. While we're waiting on folks to join, go to coopedup.com to see what I'm putting there. Sign up for my email updates, all that fun stuff. If you're on other social platforms, you can follow me at I'm Cooped Up. That is my handle in most places. And wherever you are watching or listening to this, look for the bell, find it, click it to be notified when I post new content. So I hope y'all are doing great. Hi, Carrie. Hi. You beat my mama today. I don't know where she is. She's not even texting me. And Debbie is saying good afternoon. Hello, Debbie Wilmeth. Good to see you here today. So do you have my mom? My mama's there now. I just got back from lunch. Yes, it's 4:30. No, I got back at 3:15 from lunch. I picked just in time to pick up the kids from school and came home. I had lunch with Eric Johnson, who is a frequent commenter on here. I have not seen him in person in over a year. So that was fantastic. So we celebrated. I brought a birthday gift for him. His birthday was weeks ago. We celebrated let me tell you, the price of the lunch and maybe a little bit of was worthy of birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, all of the things together. We both looked at the bill. We were like, oh, I guess we made it for lust. Seriously, y'all. But it was worth it. Long lunch, talked about all the things, solved the world's problems. He gave the kids the sweetest little gift. They are, Eric is a big politics person, and he's actually very connected to the Democratic apparatus, if you will. Personal friends with Hillary Clinton, all these people. So for Easter, he gave the kids little mementos that would have been used with the egg roll this year, but they weren't. So he got these little wooden eggs that are not really signed, but it looks like they're signed by Joe Biden. Joe Biden, as Kamala says, or Maya Douglas says, as Kamala on Saturday Night Live. So my brain's running a little slow. It may be a little polluted at the moment, so we'll see. Also, allergies. Oh my God, y'all. Todd slept in the other room. He's like, "Oh my God, you snored so bad last night." I've snored so much for the last couple of days, and Claritin is just not breaking through. So, and Carrie saying, "There you go, spending more of that long lost pandemic savings. Huh? You save so much money on food, but the tides are turning." Well, I saved enough money that I paid off my car, and now I have that car money. So I'm like, there. I'm good for it. I'm good for it. So for Eric, I don't know if he's on or if he's going to be on or not, but for his birthday, which was in February, I gave him a cookbook today. And backstory on that. So Eric is the kind of person that prior to the pandemic only knew he had a kitchen because his housekeeper told him he has one, or the catering people told him he has one. Hey, Eric. So he, though, so proud of him of this, subscribed to HelloFresh and just started cooking. And he has become a home chef now as a result of all this. So I, as a gift to him for his birthday, gave him Ina Garten's comfort food cookbook, which is fantastic. If you do not have it, it is first of all, it's beautiful. And I love Ina. You know, I love Ina. And one of the things that I love about it is, so I love Martha also, but Martha's thing is she's like, oh, I made this risotto with these mushrooms that are only found on a certain hillside in Madagascar during the rainy season, right? That kind of thing. Ina is like, she's like, you should probably grow your own mushrooms, but store-bought's okay. And she makes this comfort food one. It's all like just fat and sassy food, as Carrie and I like to joke. It's just fat and sassy food. Good stuff. So I gave him that today. And then I gave him a Barack Obama lip balm that says, "I'm still on everybody's lips." It cracked me up when I saw that. So but we had a fun lunch. Hey, Eric. There he is. He's there. So, and then what else was I going to talk about? I'm wearing white pants today. First real day after Easter. I think I'm gonna buy like 3 more pair. I like the way these look on me. Now I look kind of like they're a little skinny fit, so I look a little bit like a lollipop. Um, so what did we do? What did y'all do this weekend for Easter? I'll tell you what we did. One, we heated up the pool so the kids swam a couple of times. I love having a pool. I rarely get in my pool. I sit next to it. I tear pages out of magazines while sitting next to it. I listen to it. I love it, but I don't get in it very often. But we did that. We had a showing of the RV that was very promising, and I cannot wait to tell you more about that when the time is right. And yesterday made Claire had a sleepover also Friday night, and at a person's house, not here. And then yesterday I made Easter supper, I guess. We ate it at like 4. So it wasn't lunch and it wasn't dinner. So it's kind of like Easter supper. And I made it all, not intentionally, just this is how it happened. I made it all with things that I bought at Aldi. All the things I bought at Aldi. Yes. And Aaron, funny you say that, a very Aldi Easter. He did. It is so funny how many people have messaged me saying, I got all the stuff at Aldi. So we had a spiral cut ham that was fantastic that we will probably have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next 2 weeks. Carrie, we did not save the ham bone. I know that you said that we should. Todd threw it away, and it's fine. I actually usually just use bacon when I make beans, so it's okay. And then I made asparagus that I bought at Aldi as well. And what else did I make? I made them in the air fryer. My new air fryer arrived. I bought a new double drawer air fryer. Each one is a little smaller. So my current one is 6 ounces. And this one, they have 2 5-ounce, I think, or 2 4-ounce drawers. So, and you can do it. And what else? What else did I make with it? Oh, I made something that I had seen on, and I didn't actually buy this at Aldi. These are potatoes that I just happened to have. I was gonna do like chopped potato or roasted potatoes or whatever in the air fryer, but then I've seen this. What is it? There's some fancy name for it. Hasselback, maybe Hasselback. That sounds right. Hasselback potatoes, and it's where you take like a baked potato and you cut like slits in it, like just all along it, and then when it bakes, it kind of opens up like almost like a spiral, but not quite like a spiral. Well, I'll tell you, that was a big old. It did not cook all the way through. I cooked them twice. They started falling apart. I'm almost sick to either cutting up the potatoes to make some roasted potatoes with rosemary and all that stuff, or I'm going to make just straight up baked potatoes. Baked potatoes in the air fryer are really good. It takes like 40 minutes. You turn them a bunch. What I do on baked potatoes is I just soak them in oil, not soak them, but like coat them in oil, coarse sea salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and then roast them in the air fry them in the air fryer. I think it's like 40 minutes, probably on 400. I think everything's on 400, and turn them a little bit throughout the thing. They are so good. The crust, the skin gets crispy because when I eat a baked, I've talked about this before. When I eat a baked potato, I eat it from front to back, and I eat the skin and everything. When I am done with the baked potato, there is no sign that a potato even existed. And that's what I liked about it. This Hasselback one, too much work, not enough reward. Carrie, I feel like that's something you might know, what a Hasselback potato is. It didn't even look as cute coming out of the air fryer as they do online. So, what else? Monica got her second vaccine. Yay. Good for you, Monica. What are you talking about here? What freeze it? Oh, freeze the ham hot. Oh, or freeze the ham. Yes, we might freeze the ham because we have like a big ass bag of ham. So we were probably gonna do that. Mamu, that's our grandmother. That Mamu right there, actually right there. She made potatoes like this. She wrapped them in a damp paper bag. I don't know. I'm gonna stick to the way I make potatoes. If I want them cut up, I'm gonna cut them up. If I'm gonna make them whole, I'm gonna make them whole. So, what else did we do? But the funny thing is that whole Aldi thing, the number of people who have said, we went to Aldi because of you. Yes, Carrie and I are real influencers, right? Too much cutting for Hasselback. Here's the other thing with the Hasselback. You got to make sure you don't cut all the way through it. So it told me to lay down chopsticks next to potatoes so that if you hit the chopstick, you don't cut all the way through the potato. You have to make sure though that you have the potato on the flattest side possible down. Otherwise, you do cut through the whole potato. I didn't actually do that, but I almost did. Thank goodness I had a brain on during it. So, and you need the chopsticks. Yes, that's what I said. I do the crispy edges on my baked potatoes anyway, though, so that's lost on me. What else? Oh, Claire, my daughter Claire. For months, we have been hearing, "I'm not a baby. I don't want to do baby things anymore. Why is that so babyish? Don't treat me like a baby. Blah blah blah. Baby, baby, baby." Right? So we were like, "Fuck it. This year we're not going to hide Easter eggs." Ooh, girl, that did not go over well. She was straight up pissed. You didn't even ask us if we wanted Easter eggs this year. I was like, you already know he doesn't exist. Children are watching. I apologize already. Um, but you already knew he doesn't fucking exist. We killed him and Santa and the Tooth Fairy the same night at dinner. I was like, so I'm not going to work for that. You want a $20 bill? I'll give you a fucking $20 bill. Don't be mad at me. I don't want to have to wake up and hide some stupid eggs. And I certainly don't want that chocolate. You know what? This right here. I look good from the front, turn to the side, and I look like I'm 7 months pregnant. I do not need more chocolate in my house. So, wasn't Hasselback on Baywatch. That's Hasselhoff. And when I lived in Germany, David Hasselhoff, David Hasselhoff was a huge pop star there. And I think he still is. I think I see it occasionally coming up that he is. Something else that happened this weekend that was eye-opening is that I took a shower on Saturday morning. I think it was Saturday, maybe Friday morning. I haven't seen you since Thursday, so it could have been whatever day. So I got up in the morning, whatever morning it was, and took a shower, got out of the shower, and then grabbed a pair of black underwear. And I've told you before, TMI alert, I only wear black boxer briefs. The exception is today I'm wearing white jeans, so I'm wearing white boxer briefs from Gap. I only wear Gap black boxer brief. So I go into my drawer, grab a pair of underwear, black boxer brief underwear, put them on, and I'm like, no, this doesn't feel right. Like, have I gained that much weight? Like since yesterday? Because I was wearing the same, because they're all the same underwear. So I was wearing the same pair of underwear yesterday. Have I gained that much weight? And I'm walking and I'm like, okay, just something's weird. So I'm like getting ready and I think I shaved and all that kind of stuff. And finally I'm like, this is not right. I bought a pair of Todd's underwear. So at some point when I had been folding clothes, Todd has a black pair of boxer briefs as well. They're not Gap, but they're black boxer briefs, and they look very similar to mine. I'd put them in my drawer, and I put those on, and he's a medium, and I'm a large, and I was like, I never felt so happy to be wearing somebody else's underwear in my life. Oh my goodness. And I also ordered weird fashion thing. Walmart has this new line of clothing that all the influencers are talking about because they're paid to, called free motion, free enterprise, it's free something. They're not free, but they're cute. It's like it's kind of like I bought, long story short, I bought a pair of stretch camo chinos from there, and I did something that I don't normally do. I admitted that I'm not a 34 waist anymore, and I bought a pair of 36s because they were only $12. They were like on super clearance. They were $12, and I'm like, you know what? For a $12 pair of pants, I'll go a size up. Not proud of that fact, but I did. Where your boys were like, something is amiss. Is it warm in here? You know what is so funny on the underwear? It was not even the middle part. It was the legs, like the leg holes. I was like, I'm gonna get my legs pinched off. And I didn't gain weight in my legs, I don't think, but we'll see. Crystal is saying, my mom, God rest her soul, hid those damn eggs with money in them for my grown-ass sons to kill each other over a $5 bill to grab an egg in her backyard until she passed away. I'm not that dad. I might do it for my grandkids someday, but I'm not. We're done with that with the kids. Um, anyway, what else? Baylor, supposedly, I'm supposed to know about this, but Baylor is playing in a big game tonight. Didn't they win the women's basketball win last night? Are they the national champions? Or someone is. I thought it was Baylor that I saw. And then tonight, the men's basketball team is playing for the national championship. Good luck, Baylor, on that. Not my favorite school, but you're down the road, so I'll cheer for the hometown team. How about that? And then I'd also this weekend, I'm just rattling through shit right now. I discovered a new cool app, y'all. It's called Libby, Libby. Like the Stanford won the women's. You would know that, Kathy, wouldn't you? Stanford won the women's. I guess Baylor was in it though, or I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Again, I played basketball in the 7th grade, and I was much better at kicking the basketball than I was at dribbling the basketball because I had the growth spurt to get about as tall as I am now in the 7th and 8th grade, and the feet were different lengths than the arms and all that stuff. It was gangly, so I don't pretend. But they are playing tonight, an undefeated team, according to my sister. Who knew this was going to be turned into ESPN here? Yeah, news-ish. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Libby app, Libby. So if you read books on your Kindle, this is a great app to have because I discovered it because Claire needed an audiobook to help her with the regular reading book and all that stuff. And so I was researching stuff, and I looked on Dallas Public Library's website about checking stuff out virtually, right? Instead of having to subscribe to Audible for $20 a month, seeing if they had these for free. They do, by the way. But Dallas Public Library and libraries across the country, if you have a library card, they use this app called Libby, Libby, and you can check out books for free if they're available. It depends on how many that your library has thing. But I mean, it's the Landrum Library in South Carolina, outside of where my in-laws live. The Dallas Library. Everywhere I looked at, something was available for it. And here's the coolest thing about it. You don't have to read them in the Libby app. You go to the Libby app, you check out a book, and it will send it automatically to your Kindle, or to your Kindle app. Yes, it's exactly what I'm saying right now at this moment, Alice. I love Libby. You can also transfer the book to your Kindle. That was the thing, because I don't need another app. I don't need another thing to remember all of that. If I can't read it on my Kindle or read it in my hand, that's not going to get read. And I also don't use the Kindle app on my iPad because there's a lot more interesting stuff on my iPad than the Kindle app. I got Facebook, I got Instagram, I got TikTok, I got all those things. So I was like, oh, yes. And so I checked out Kevin Kwan's new book, Sex and Vanity, which is about a year old now. Totally fine. I did check out Oprah's newest selection, Gilead, and there was a wait for it. I was like 11th in line to get that one. If people check it back, and you get them for, it's like 21 days, whatever the normal time frame is for having a library book, 14 days, 21 days, something like that. And I think you can check it out again. But it was great. You can send it to your Kindle. Love it. Monica Fide is reminding me that Baylor's women's team did make it to the Final Four, so I'm not totally unfounded in that information. But go to the Libby app. I'll put a link to it in the comments when I get done here. Another interesting thing that I read this week. So, I'm a big Wall Street Journal fan. And the reason I'm a big Wall Street Journal fan is I love their reporting. I think it is conservative in the sense that they don't go out on limbs about things. Not necessarily, I mean, their opinion pages, I don't read those very much because they are like way more conservative than I am. But like I like a conservatively written story in the sense of that they're not projecting too much, right? So there was 2 stories this weekend that I read in Wall Street Journal that were fascinating to me. The weekend is always the best. One is there was this guy that was murdered. Where was it? Was it in Florida? It feels like it was in Florida. I'm not sure. So there's this guy that claims that the courts and stuff, he's a conspiracy theorist, that he claims and the courts are all rigged, and he defends himself, and he somehow uses calculus and like trigonometry and geometry to try to defend himself in court to try to get custody of his kids back. He loses every fucking time. But now he has this huge social media following here on Facebook and on YouTube, and he has a website and all that kind of stuff. So this woman, whose name I don't remember, she had lost her kids, and she started going down like this rabbit hole of trying to get. So befriends this guy, the conspiracy theorist, and then this woman starts believing all the conspiracy theory stuff. She gets into kind of the QAnon stuff and all of that, and he's trying to defend her and win her kids back. Keeps losing all that stuff. She, because she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and has all of these conspiracy theories in her head, she then twists the conspiracy theory that that guy is actually like a mole for the government who is pretending to be a conspiracy theorist so that he can trick her and take her kids away from her. That the government is going to that length to take her kids away from her. So then she just boom blows him up in his house with his wife and his or girlfriend and his child in the house. Crazy. It was a fascinating story, though. When in doubt, guess Florida for messed up news. Yes. It was a long ass story, but it was to the last word. I was like, what? And at the end, you're like, she thought he turned against her or something. It was, if you can't find that story, you should go look for it. It's really good. And then the other thing, this is kind of nerd alert. I learned all about messenger RNA today, over the weekend. And I was telling Eric about it at lunch today. So basically, this is news-ish. I may be getting some of the specifics wrong, but I'm getting the general message right. So basically, these new vaccines, the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccine, are based on this thing called messenger RNA. So it's like your DNA, but it's the messenger part of it. I'll get to that in a minute. So people are like, oh, they're untested and blah, blah, blah. So actually, fact check, they've been around for like 20 years or so, like a long time, like maybe even longer than that. And this technology has been used in other treatments for things like certain cancers and things, nothing widespread like this. And it's super expensive to do. There's not been an appetite for investing in this sort of thing until the federal government says, hey, we'll write you a check. How much you need? And they're like, invest it. So this RNA technology has been used in vaccines and treatment for other diseases or viruses or whatever. And the reason it got approved so fast is because the basis of it was already tested and founded and approved and all that stuff. It was literally just the use of it with COVID-19 virus, right? So anyway, so that aside. Interesting thing is that well, let me back up. I'm getting ahead of myself here. The way it works, this is your science lesson for the day, is all your cells have a DNA in the middle of them, right? And this thing is like that zipper thing. It comes that helix. It kind of goes like that, and it goes like that, and it opens and does. And that thing, that your DNA sequence sends messages, these RNA messages, like the mail, to all of the different other things in your body, all the outsides of the cells, all that kind of stuff, right? And that is like, hey, you need to make more of this protein, or we see this coming down the pipe, or you need to do that, or their endocrine levels are too high. You need to make this, all right? So what this virus is doing, and Crystal, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, because I know you were part of the vaccine. They inject, basically it's like these DNA are sending out just thousands and thousands of Christmas cards or instructional cards about how to do stuff. And the scientists have figured out a way to put in messages in that goes out with it. So it's in the outgoing mail, basically. It's not, so people who say it's changing my DNA, because we've heard that and all that stuff, they're wrong. It's not changing your DNA. It is tricking your body into thinking the DNA told it something, whatever, right? Then here's the other thing about it, is that it's not even, there's no part of the virus in it. It's got part of the protein that is in the spikes of the COVID-19 virus. And so basically what it is doing, it is training your cells to be like Teflon coated so that the spikes don't stick to them and they fall off. It's not even keeping you from getting infected. It has nothing to do with that. It's keeping it from even attaching so that it can't then infect you. And that's also why they're now finding out that people like me who are fully vaccinated, and many of you, are most likely not able to give it to other, transmit it and carry it to other people because we're not carrying it ourselves. It just hits and falls off and goes away and goes gone, right? Fascinating stuff. I don't know if that was that interesting to you, but it was super interesting to me. Since you're on the medical part of the show, that's Dr. Koopa. Have you heard about providing a copy of your vaccination card to your primary care physician so they have it on file? I have not heard that. I did, though. Eric, were you part of this conversation? Or I don't remember. I saw it on Facebook over the weekend. What people are doing with their cards. So the consensus is now do not laminate your card because you don't know when you're going to need it to add another sticker to it or little handwriting or whatever. So they're now saying do not laminate your card. What they're saying now that you should do is make a photocopy of your card, maybe multiple, make a photocopy of your card, laminate that so that you have that on you as proof, but keep the original like with your passport or in your safe, or wherever you keep like birth certificates, social security cards, like important documents. Keep that there, but don't laminate it because it needs to still be a kind of living and breathing thing. But make a photocopy of it, and then you can laminate that. Yes. Mom and Michelle Condrey are both saying that that RNA thing is fascinating. Yeah, it was to me. I mean, I was just like, what? And then I ended up reading more and more and more about this. Because at first I was reading it, and they're talking about DNA and stuff, and I was like, oh, shit. People who are simple-minded are going to read this and say, oh, no, told you. It's fucking with your DNA. It's not fucking with your DNA. It's basically mail fraud at worst. DNA mail fraud. It's putting mail, it's sending out mail from your DNA that's not really from your DNA. And now they're saying you can fly freely if you're vaccinated. You don't have to quarantine. So does this mean we can go to NYC now? Here's the thing about going to NYC. So I looked at this, going to New York. New York is still not really open. So you can go. There just might not be a lot to do. They're kind of opening stuff a little bit. I'm not sure I want to go to New York when, like, a lot of the restaurants aren't open, the museums, unless, I mean, the museums I think are kind of like at this, that part's nice to me. I like that. I've seen people in museums and all that. Oh, also, Crystal's correct. Take a photo of it, of your vaccine card, so that you always have it with you. Take a photo, and then tap favorite. I don't know how you do it on an Android phone, but on an iPhone, you just do a little hearty heart there, and it. Once I can see a Broadway show, I'll go. Yeah. Do you want to hear something embarrassing? I've never been to a Broadway show. I've been in New York 100 times. I've never been to a show on Broadway. It's not fucked up. I mean, my gay card needs to be put on probation for that. I've seen plenty of shows at like Dallas Summer Musicals and all that kind of stuff. But I've never actually seen a show in New York. Todd doesn't like live stuff that much, so I can't do it. I'm always with him. I mean, Todd and I have been traveling together since we were puppies, basically. So, shame. Shut up. I know, right? I know. He said this. Michelle said an actor friend was just there, and the streets are empty, and everything closes at 11. I know. I just don't even want that. What? You lose a punch in your gay card. I'm a gold star gay, so I have got. Let me tell you, I got enough equity built up in the gay Illuminati apparatus mafia, whatever you want to call it, that I am okay. She doesn't even go here. That is so funny. Carrie does want to go before the tourists fill it up. I've been in contact. The restaurants and museums are open. Yeah, I know. I did the museums. I'm okay with the restaurants. You know what? I don't like eating in an empty restaurant. Today, Eric, for example, and I were at lunch. Only one at the table. We were there for 3 hours. One at the table came and went. We were the only ones in the restaurant. And it was nice for us because we could be loud and ridiculous and have 3 to 4 drinks and all that kind of stuff. But if it weren't for basically us catching up on a year, I don't think that I would have liked that much. So she can't sit with us. I know. I vowed that I would never say that publicly, and yet here I go, doing it here on Cooped Up Live. The things you learn on Cooped Up Live, right? Um, Speaking of, messenger RNA was invented by a female scientist. Yes, awesome. Love female scientists. So, anything else? Let's see. I thought I saw somebody ask a question. By the way, Aaron the other day posted, I forgot to acknowledge it, all the cool stuff that he bought at Aldi. Was shocked as well that there was so much organic and vegan and vegetarian stuff. So, alrighty, well, I think that is all I have for today. I'm drinking water right now because I need to dilute some of the liquid lunch that Eric and I had a little bit ago. So, oh, my throat's so dry from allergies. My hands too, by the way. Are y'all's hands like crazy dry? Like mine said, like I've made it a year through the pandemic using all this stuff, and now they're just like, I mean, crusty. I mean, I look at my hands and I'm like, those are old lady hands. And it doesn't help that I got nails painted and arthritis is set in, but old lady hands. So, alrighty, well, with that, I'm gonna say bye. Quitter. I have a glass of wine. I'm not quitting just yet. I'm pacing myself. So, alrighty, with that, I'm gonna say bye. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you. Missed you. Missed you having 3 days off here. Don't shoot yourself to death. Take care of yourself. If you are fully vaccinated and you have not started having lunch with your friends again, have lunch with your friends again. It's fun. I am really enjoying kind of reconnecting, making a point of it too. Like I'm not just having lunch with just random people. It's people like with intention and live life with intention. That's what that's what she says all the time. Live life with intention, right? Mama Oprah right there looking over my shoulder. So, alrighty, and with that, I'm gonna say bye. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say?